Hey everybody, and welcome to a super short spontaneous journal with me video. In today's video, I am doing a journal with me video using the non-existent supplies that I got from a fun spontaneous day trip that my husband and I did with our children. We drove 3 hours south to Key Biscayne, which is an island just off of Miami, to go visit a lighthouse there. And we decided to do this because we knew we would not come into contact with a lot of people. We could be safe doing this. And because we hadn't done anything with our children all summer long. And I felt super guilty about not doing anything with my children all summer and kind of robbing them of the summer experience. And so in a last-ditch effort, in their second to last weekend before school started, we drove south and we went to go do something fun. The lighthouse was closed, people. We drove 3 hours to see a sign 3 miles away from where we were meant to go that the lighthouse was closed for the day and it was not allowing anybody to come onto the property anymore. We couldn't even walk in. And I can't even explain to you the panic that went through my mind because I had just driven 3 hours in the car with 2 screaming babies and 2 screaming boys about how frustrated they were that they had to be in the car this long for no reason whatsoever. So after a quick Google search, we found that the Viscaya Museum and Gardens was literally 5 minutes away and they were open and that we could go in and tour the gardens and the house. So we drove over there quickly, made it happen, only to find that it was a completely contactless-free experience. We had to purchase our tickets online, show them the email that we got that we had to wait forever for because there's no service, for them to see that we actually purchased them online to show them the tickets. I didn't get anything. No paper products anywhere. So hold on, pause that thought right now. So I wanted to use this glassine envelope and I wanted to put this picture in that I printed off from their website. But I didn't want the envelope to be horizontal and I didn't want the flap of the envelope to cause issues. I wanted to be able to pull the tickets straight out of the top. And so I cut the envelope down that side seam and I'm going to tape the envelope closed. And I'm ripping this up so that I can reuse it again because it's completely covered by this envelope anyway. And even though I completely ruined it, I can still use that little piece that I did tear off. But I wanted to be able to pull the tickets vertically off, but I wanted to use this vintage glassine envelope. So I'm making it work. So that's what you're seeing me fiddle with right now. But yeah, completely contactless. I didn't get a pamphlet. I didn't get a ticket stub or a admittance bracelet. No postcards. The shop was closed. I literally walked away from this place with nothing. And I even begged the woman to let me have a piece of paper for my journal. Just I paid $18 just for myself to walk through the gardens and to walk through this house. I wanted proof that I went there and nothing. They couldn't give me anything. I was absolutely heartbroken. I totally panicked. I totally was stressing the whole way home. I was so frustrated, but it was a lesson to be learned. And I learned that lesson and I adapted from my situation and I overcame it by printing off the picture from the Vizcaya website, which is the house and the barge, and then this fun little map that says Viscaya Museum and Gardens, the blue that's on the top corner. That was also on the website, and so I just took a screenshot, printed it on sticker paper so that I could just stick it straight in, and I thought it had a cool look. And the tickets actually were the tickets that were emailed to us. They had this stupid barcode that she could scan through the glass and it looked terrible. It was awful. And I was just how am I going to use this? So when I printed it on some old antique looking paper. I cut it in a way that the barcode was not there at all. And then I used my hole punch to punch a semicircle in the side, so it actually looked like a ticket. And I made it work. I adapted and overcame that high anxiety scenario that I went to a place and came back with nothing. I made the situation work for me. So it's not the quality that I would prefer, like you would get from a ticket stub or a pamphlet that you get at a location, but it's something and it's there and I made it work. So I'm using some other supplies that I just had lying around. The pages are already pre-decorated. That's how I tend to work. I pre-decorate my pages beforehand, but I just kind of wanted to dress up the page a little bit more. And then I did some hand lettering that said road trip and adapt and overcome, because I wanted to write about how infuriating this situation was, that I didn't get any paper. And like, how, I mean, it sounds so stupid when I say it out loud, but I know every single one of you can relate with me that it would be super frustrating to finally go to a place that you've been wanting to go to for years. I've lived in Florida for 4 years and I have wanted to visit this place since then. And so I finally get there and I have to wear a mask the entire time in 100-degree heat and South Florida humidity, chasing 4 children that all want to go in different directions. And I wasn't even mad about that. I wasn't even frustrated that my son wanted to touch 400-year-old velvet chairs and open 1,000-year-old benches. Like, that wasn't even like on my radar when it came to stress and anxiety. Or trying to find a place to eat that these children would like that wasn't like these fancy island restaurants. I was upset over the paper. Or lack thereof. Anyway, so I've just added some fun postage stamps and stickers. I'm going to add this wax seal with this pressed flower, mainly because we spent most of the time that we were there outside in the gardens, walking around and exploring, because it was the only safe place for my children to be. Even though it was 1,000 degrees outside and it was absolutely frustratingly, miserably hot, it was the only safe place. And so I wanted to just sort of notate that with a pressed flower and a wax seal. And I put a pretty little flower bud in there, and then I press it with one of my blank wax seals. And then the stickers that I use also have a floral aspect to it as well. And it turns out really, really fun. So I like the end product. I'll be able to easily go in and journal about this entire experience. I loved spending the day with my children, as frustrating as it was. The experience and the memories are there for a lifetime, and I couldn't be happier. So I'm going to add in some footage from the day that we were there. They were just clips from my Instagram story, so the quality is terrible and it's in vertical filming format, so I'm sorry, but I hope that you enjoy it all the same. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the journaling part. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk through some of the footage now, right? This is the footage that I took on my cell phone. All the pictures and videos are from my cell phone. I slowed everything down a little bit to try to alleviate some of the motion sickness, but I would encourage you to hold your phones a little bit further away from your face so that you don't get quite as sick, because there's really not a whole lot I can do about like quick Instagram story video quality or shakiness. So I hope that you enjoy it anyway. This was the first thing that we saw, was the pool. And then the previous video was what we walked out to, which was the grand patio where the barge is. This lovely situation is like a pavilion out in the garden, and it had a hand-painted ceiling, and it was outside. It was completely open to the elements. How it's managed to survive all this time, I will never know. It was absolutely stunning all the same. You can see the house in the background there. But this place was amazing. The gardens were substantial. And what was an interesting feature for this house was that the entire inside was like a giant greenhouse. There's that bench that Emmett tried to open. those actually open, those seats try to open, and he saw the hinges and had to open them, and it was terrifying. But yeah, I absolutely loved how it was so open in here, and it was airy, and it was freezing cold in there, which I absolutely appreciated after being outside for so long. But all the greenery and the giant skylight or sunlight, or just the giant window in the middle there, was absolutely stunning. And we only got to see the first level, because they only had the first level open to visitors right now. So what we did see was amazing. I'm not showing you everything because I would encourage you, if you ever come to Florida, to visit this place and support it because it's absolutely stunning. But what I have chosen to share with you are just some of the highlights of this beautiful property. So there's looking out into the backyard of this property, which is not a yard, it is the river, and the barge, and it's just absolutely stunning. Fun fact, if you are a Jim Carrey fan, this was the house that they used in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. This right here, this scene is actually where he walks in at the beginning of the scene of that fancy dinner that he has to go to, so I thought that was funny. But yeah, this is the barge. It's absolutely stunning. It's in terrible shape. I looked at pictures of it from 50 years ago or so, and it has suffered some serious damage from the hurricanes over the past few years. But we're moving out into the garden now. There were sculptures everywhere, and there was it was just absolutely immaculate. The fountains and the stonework and the flowers, it was just all, it was a very Edwardian, Victorian garden, and it was very well maintained, absolutely stunning, and my favorite part of the entire property. So here is the close-up of that patio, and this is the view of the house from the garden. Absolutely stunning. They're huge. The gardens are huge. So but yeah, I really loved this place. This stained glass was absolutely stunning, and it actually, look at it there. Oh, this place is amazing. This is as close as Florida gets to a proper English what do you call it, property, I guess. Anyway, that's going to be it. I hope that you have enjoyed this mini vlog, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks. Bye.